When I was growing up, I was well acquainted with various news commentators, news anchors, and sportscasters, as you probably were as well. Those folks came into our homes as we watched the evening news, as we watched various sporting events. And some of them from the past would be Huntley and Brinkley. That was when I was but a wee child. Walter Cronkite. More recent years, Dan Rather. Now we have David Muir on ABC World News Tonight. As far as sports are concerned, many of us grew up watching Howard Cosell and Dandy Don Meredith and Frank Gifford. Vin Scully until just recently when he retired. And one of those greats, one of those legends, as far as a sportscaster is concerned, died just 10 days ago, very suddenly. Dick Enberg, who I grew up watching on Saturday afternoon basketball, sometimes at the Olympics, sometimes other national sporting events. Like most of those news anchors and those sports commentators, Dick Enberg also had a signature call phrase. At those extraordinary moments created by ordinary people, he would simply exclaim, "Oh my!" And I can hear that reverberating in my head as I remember all of those great basketball events, especially the NCAA tournaments, when some great feat maybe changed the course of momentum in the game, and Enberg would exclaim, "Oh my!" When he was asked where he acquired that, he said, "Well, it really comes from my Midwestern values." The Jones understand that. My Midwestern values and my mother, who often exclaimed in great dismay, "Oh my!" He said when he would do something, she would say, "Oh my, you've done it again." Or he said, people in town might be sharing about someone else, and they would say, "Did you hear about Mr. Jones? Oh my!" Well, as we read the scriptures from Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and through this week and today, we are filled with "oh my" moments. When God takes very ordinary people, and because of the extraordinary outbreak of His love, accomplishes extraordinary moments, extraordinary transformation, and brings to the world extraordinarily good news. As we reflect on our gospel text for this morning, we hear about some really ordinary people. Mary, Joseph, a baby. Typical stuff, right? It happens. Shepherds, smelly shepherds, watching over their flocks by night. And two mature and wise people. I kept the older part out. Two mature and wise people, Simeon and Anna, who have been waiting for generations for the Redeemer, for the Messiah to come. They have been holding on. They have been steadfast in their faithfulness and in their obedience, longing for this one who would come and redeem their people, Israel. They're ordinary people. Ordinary people like you and like me. These are devout Jewish people, however, just as Mary and Joseph are. We hear in those 19 verses over and over again that Mary and Joseph did according to the law. They followed the law. They were obedient. They were faithful Jews. And they were doing everything that they were supposed to do. The rite of purification, the presentation of Jesus in the temple, all was very normal, typical, routine. It was part of their faithfulness and their obedience to their tradition. But Anna and Simeon saw something different. They saw something in this child. Simeon knew when he looked into his eyes and he held this child that indeed the Redeemer of Israel had come. Anna, who remained steadfast in her prayers and in her fasting, knew that when she saw this child, their Redeemer had come. And yet they also knew that this child would not simply be the Redeemer and the Messiah of only their people, but that this child, this Jesus, had come for the good, for the sake, for the saving of the entire world. Remember what the angel said to the shepherds? I bring you good news of great joy for all the people. Indeed, this is an oh my moment. This is an oh my occasion when God takes ordinary people and ordinary events and breaks in through his extraordinary love and does extraordinary things. Indeed, it's an oh my day when we consider what this extraordinary life means to you and to me. How God, through the gift of his Son, can change you and can change me and can change the world. That's the good news of great joy. That's the oh my of our lives. That's what we are privileged to share as we go into a new year, 2018. As we love, as we give, as we embody this new life, Jesus Christ, we can see a new beginning and Christmas continuing in and through us and our church and into the world. God can take ordinary people with his extraordinary love and make a new world in which we may celebrate. Amen. Let us continue to